Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say it now. The eye relief on this thing kind of sucks.
Dr. Pepper, not a sponsor. Oh man, I would never quit this if Dr. Pepper sponsored me.
I would also weigh 600 pounds.
Well, that's not true. I don't gain weight. I would die of a heart attack though.
Probably.
All right. Good whenever you are. Okay, that was a hit. I would say probably somewhere around the neck, maybe.
Okay, that's about where I was aiming.
Okay, well.
At this range, the 3X is about to its limit.
Yeah. Okay. Do the same thing you just did.
Okay. I heard it.
Okay, you're either hitting dead center because the plate's not moving, or you're hitting like the right side of the neck. Just keep doing it. I might see you. You're making hits, so that's all that matters.
Once I get to the 4,000 subscriber mark, I'm going to be giving away all of this. This is K-Tactical stuff. It's Surefire clone flashlights. They have some different patches. They like all the anime stuff, and if you like that kind of stuff, this is right up your alley. A whole bunch of little tiny fixed blade knives, which are actually kind of cool, the Kydex, and also a whole bunch of stickers, patches, this kind of stuff. If you like all that kind of stuff, it's not for me, but if you like that, fantastic. A whole bunch of little Picatinny rail sections. And if I have enough of these left over, I'll give out some of these Portec patches and some of them as well. I still have to give some of these to some of my friends, but I might make some more to give out and giveaways if you're all interested in that. But anyways, enjoy the rest of the video. All right, welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be doing a short review, hopefully a short review, over this Eotech clone. This is a 3X magnifier. It is patterned after the G33 Eotech. It's the full length one. It's not the shorter one, and it's not the 5X. It's a 3-power magnifier. And for those wondering, this is not a real Unity tactical riser. This is a Chinese knockoff as well, which I've also done a review on. Long story short, as long as you grease it up, it works just fine. You also want to make sure that you get the right version that is designed to mount with this one. Because, shocker, Chinese sellers on eBay don't exactly describe it well or guarantee that you're going to get the correct mount on here. Now, this mount, this Unity riser, is not actually what this magnifier comes with. It actually comes with the Eotech clone for their newer flip-side magnifiers. And a lot of the Chinese-made magnifiers that are on Amazon all come with this. They're all basically the exact same thing. I'm actually using one of them that came with, I think it was a Penty. I have it right here. It came with this magnifier. And I got this one sent to me. I made a video review on it a while back. It says Hiram on the top. It was actually Penty, P-I-N-T-Y. I believe it sent it to me. I ended up taking the mount that looked just like this off of this magnifier and using it with my new primary arms, the 6X magnifier that I just reviewed, because I didn't really like this mount. Now, I like this mount, I just don't like the fact that it's not QD. But the nice thing about all of these, for the most part, and I'll kind of get into that, the nice part about all of those is they do work with all of the standard Eotech pattern 2-hole screws. So if your magnifier has this post and the 2 screw holes there, it'll most likely work with this, Unity style of riser. Now, granted, this riser is specifically made for the Eotech, but I think they make ones that also work with other different types of magnifiers. But as long as your mount or your magnifier has this type of screw holes, this is interchangeable with them all. Now, one thing I will say is they're not all interchangeable, because some of them, like this one right here, has a circular post right here. The screw holes are the same, but that post is circular, and this one is circular. My other mount actually had a square cutout. So the square, which is what the primary arms had, was the square cut. So this one would not actually work with my primary arms. But the one that's pretty much an exact copy of this, except that has a square hole that came with this one, did work with my primary arms. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can. So this one has a square hole. So again, that didn't focus, but you get the idea. So as long as you have a square post one, it'll work pretty much with everything else. If you get one of these that has a round post, which is what these come with, just know it's only going to work with this. So that's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. All right, as you can see back there, it comes in your typical Chinese box that they just throw a sticker on for whatever you know, the unit that you're getting is. Comes in different colors. You can get red, tan. They have desert earth and black. So I went ahead and got the black one because I usually spray paint the stuff I want to keep. I'm not going to end up using this on anything, you know, for serious use. One of my buddies also has one, so I actually bought 2 of these, and I bought 2 Picatinny rail risers. And the first riser, the Unity knockoff, had the wrong, if I don't drop stuff here, had the wrong size of post here, so it didn't actually work. So I sent that one back. This one does. So again, just know that if you order something, it may not be the right size. So if you're concerned about that, I would order this stuff on Amazon because you can have free returns. If you're not worried about it, then you can order off eBay. I don't remember which brand this is. I'll put links and pictures down below which ones I actually bought from, so you know. Okay, so the Magnifier itself. It is an Eotech clone, as you can tell. It's a decent made clone. I'm assuming it will still work with all of the Eotech stuff because, again, it's pretty much an exact copy. Now, one thing I will say is the eye box on this thing, it's not horrendous, but it's not good either. So if you're used to using like a Hollow Sun or the Primary Arms or one of those other ones, it's got pretty much the same eye box as the UTG, if you're familiar with that. But the Primary Arms and actual Eotechs, and I've used the shorter 5X Eotech, and even that one has a substantially better eye box. And the K Tactical short one that was a kind of a copy of the Vortex Micro, the 3X, it has a better eye box than this as well. So whenever you're getting behind this thing, you pretty much have to get about this far away, and you have to be perfectly centered. Like, it's not really all that forgiving. Now, once you find the eye box, it's actually pretty clear for what it is, and it's only 3 power magnification. So I mean, the clarity doesn't have to be all that great because you're not really going to be seeing out all that far anyway. But I would say it's on par with the K Tactical and with the UTG that I have. The Hollow Sun and the Primary Arms are clear, but again, you know, this is only about $60 if I remember right. I think I got this one for around $65, something like that, off eBay. If you see one on Amazon or you see one on eBay, they're all pretty much made by the same company. They're just, you know, different quote unquote name or seller, but they're all pretty much the same thing. If you're familiar with using like a PVS 14 or something that's farther away from your face where you don't get to see the nice crisp edge, but everything you do see is usable, it's actually very similar to this. As I'm aiming off in the distance, if I'm just looking at the reticle and using it, it's fine. If I'm trying to see the edges, it's pretty much impossible. But if I'm just using it to use it to look out and I'm not worried about seeing the edges, it's fine. So, yeah. I don't mind. It just takes a little bit of getting used to. I'm used to nicer magnifiers, or ones that I guess don't have this problem. The turrets on here are not clickable detents, so as you turn them, they just move. It's the same way on both sides. That's a little annoying and makes me a little bit concerned, but all that said, they haven't moved at all since I've shot them on a rifle, and I've also, you know, just kind of taken this thing and just slapped it, you know, up and down, up and down, up and down in the locking, unlocked position, and the turrets, or the zero, if you want to call it that, the reticle hadn't shifted. If you're too far away or too close to it, you're going to get a little bit of fishbowl effect around the edges. If you get good eye relief, like you just hit that sweet spot, there's none. So compared to my Hollow Sun, I like the Hollow Sun better. But if this works with the Unity knockoff, then I think this would be a perfectly acceptable option, assuming it holds 0. So first thing I'm going to do is just slap the snot out of it. Just to see if it loses its center. Obviously, you don't zero a magnifier. All it does is magnify what's in front of it. But you do center the reticle of what's in front of it. So, you know, if you can throw this thing down a cliff, you know, would it change 0? Probably. But as long as you're just using it normally, I don't think you're going to have a problem with it specifically. It does have your adjustable diopter here, you know, so you can adjust it to your eye. And again, the mount that it comes with, I think, is adequate. It's a nice little QD, so you push it on right here, and then it loosens. And then whenever you want to, you know, set it to your specific pick rail, you just tighten or loosen this side, and then it kind of locks down. So I don't have a problem with their mount that it comes with, and I think it comes with a spacer if I remember right, as well. And I actually like their mount well enough that I've used it again on my primary arms, so that should kind of tell you how much I like it. Now, one complaint I have about this is it does say Eotech on there, and some people might like that. I think it's kind of annoying. It's a little deceptive. You'll see a lot of people trying to sell fake Eotech stuff on eBay and Amazon. Same thing with Surefire. All the reviews I've done of the Surefire clones, like a lot of them say Surefire. And if you know what you're looking for, you can easily tell the difference between the two. But if you're someone who doesn't actually own a real Eotech or a real Surefire, then it's easy to fool people. So whenever you see something online, really do your research, especially on eBay. I saw something the other day that was I can't remember what it was. It was something on there anyways, and they were trying to sell it. It was like a $50 piece, and they were trying to sell it for $350, trying to take advantage of people. And I absolutely hate that. I have no problem with people making clones of things as long as you admit that it's a clone and it's not the real thing. But anyways, I'll insert video footage of me shooting with this thing so you can kind of see, that I actually tested it and shot it.
That was a hit. Your breath
both of them hit.
Literally went in my hand. Couldn't tell where it hit because I was immediately getting burned with brass as soon as I saw the hit. I would say probably top right shoulder, maybe.
That's about where I was aiming.
Okay.
I'm feeling the wind in my right ear, so that's where I was.
Okay. Aim dead center. See where it goes. Yep. Center, just slightly right. Center, slightly left.
400.
Okay. Hang on, let me find it. Look, that's 6. That's woods. There we go. Okay. Whenever you're ready. Okay, just underneath it, maybe either 6 inches or a foot. Yeah, go. Where were you aiming at that point?
About mid.
Okay, aim at the forehead. That's a little bit better. The eye box, though, like I'm not directly behind it. I'm almost up and to the left. Like I don't feel directly behind the optic, so when I'm shooting, it's not a big deal. But I notice it. I think I need to hold on the stand. I'm gonna hit it once.
I don't have any real complaints. Again, the biggest issue I have with this thing is the eye box. It's entirely usable, but you're pretty much only going to be using it when in the prone position or bench rested or in a really stable position where you can really get behind there. If you're standing or running and gunning and trying to get behind there, you'll be able to use it, but it will be a little bit difficult. Now, again, for the price, it's $65 somewhere around there. I've seen it upwards to like $80, but I think if you search around, you should be able to find it between 60 and 70. For that price, I think it's adequate. Would I put it on my main gun? No. But I would be okay with this if you want to try out, this riser specifically to see if you like the combo before you commit to buying a Unity, or if you just wanted, a cheap alternative for one of your spare guns, just to kind of have it, for this. I think it would be okay for that. Would I trust my life to this? No. I would rather buy something that's well made. But again, just to try one of these things out, just to kind of see if you like it, I think it's pretty well made. One of my buddies put it on his one of his spare rifles that he has, and I will probably put it on something at some point.
Overall, do I like this? Honestly, I'm spoiled by the primary arm 6X that I have. I personally would not buy this for myself unless I really, really, really wanted this specific flip up magnifier. If you're dead set on getting this flip up magnifier and you don't want to buy, spend a bunch of money, it works. It's fairly clear. I just don't like it in combination with this optic. Like if I had this with a like an aim point, or maybe or like especially an Eotech. I'm just spoiled by Eotech. I'm sorry. That's kind of my take with this.
One thing I will say too is, if you're going to be using a magnifier, whether it's this one or another one, with a red dot, make sure you're honestly just using an Eotech. With a regular red dot like that Holosun back there, a 3-power magnifier is okay because, again, the reticle changes in size with the scenery. So, you know, if it's magnifying what you're seeing by 3, it's also magnifying that 2 MOA dot by 3. So essentially it's, you know, tripling the size of the dot, just like it's tripling the size of the entire scenery you're seeing. One of the advantages of Eotech is that center reticle is technically less than 1 MOA, and your eye can't see anything less than 1 MOA, so it just interprets it as 1 MOA. So even though it's, you know, let's just make up a number here. Let's just say it's 0.2 or 0.4 MOA. Your eyeball still sees it as 1 MOA. And so whenever it's magnified, even on 6 power, it still looks 1 MOA because, again, that's the smallest your eye can see. So that's a huge advantage to using an Eotech with magnifiers like this, is whenever you get out to distance, and especially if you're using like a 6x magnifier, like my primary arms that I have, you're going to 100% want an Eotech. That Holosun back there it's not unusable with the 6 power, but it pretty much covers up the entire target, so it's pretty much worthless, versus the Eotech gives you a good fine aiming point still, even at that 6 power magnification. So got to throw that in there just because I would mention it. If y'all have any questions about this, again, it's pretty short review, pretty self-explanatory. It works, hasn't lost zero. It's not the best thing ever, but if you're looking for an Eotech pattern, but you don't want to pay, you know, $600 for a Eotech magnifier, or $500, whatever they cost right now, this is a good alternative just to kind of see if you like the idea. But hopefully you appreciate this kind of content, and I hope you all have a good one.